It was a quiet Sunday morning when I decided to visit my Uncle Tom. He was always the life of the party, with stories that could make anyone laugh. As I walked to his house, a strange mix of excitement and apprehension churned in my stomach. What could I expect this time? Little did I know, today would lead to unexpected twists that would forever change my perception of family. As I approached his front door, I noticed it was slightly ajar. "Hey, Uncle Tom, are you home?" I called out, but only silence greeted me. My curiosity piqued. I pushed the door open and stepped inside. The familiar smell of coffee wafted through the air, but the faint sounds of laughter caught my attention. I followed the sound down the hallway, my heart racing with anticipation. When I reached his bedroom door, which was slightly open, I couldn't believe my eyes. There was my uncle, lying on his bed with his tool out, and next to him sat a woman I didn't recognize. She had long, flowing hair and a playful smile, her laughter mixing with my uncle's. What was happening? My mind raced. Should I back away quietly, or should I stay and see what was going on? My heart was pounding as I decided to stay, captivated by the unexpected scene unfolding before me. Just then, the woman said, "What if someone walks in?" My uncle laughed and replied, "Let them. This is our time." My stomach churned as I realized the gravity of the situation. I had stumbled upon something deeply private, but there was an undeniable thrill in witnessing this side of my uncle. Who knew he had such a wild side? Suddenly, they both turned toward the door. Panic washed over me. Did they see me? I quickly ducked back behind the wall, my heart racing. I knew I needed to stay hidden, but the temptation to eavesdrop was overwhelming. After a tense moment, I heard the woman whisper, "I can't believe we're doing this. What if your family finds out?" My uncle's response shocked me even more. What they don't know won't hurt them. I've always lived life on my own terms. At that moment, I felt a mix of emotions: shock, curiosity, and even a hint of excitement. What else was my uncle hiding? Was he living a double life? My mind spun with questions as I tried to process what I was witnessing. Suddenly, I heard footsteps approaching. "Tom, are you in there?" It was my uncle's wife, Sarah. My heart stopped. She could ruin everything. I held my breath, praying that they wouldn't get caught. Yeah, just a minute," my uncle called out, scrambling to pull his pants up. The woman looked panicked, her eyes darting around the room. "What do I do?" she whispered, clearly frightened. "Just act natural," my uncle replied, trying to maintain a facade of calmness. They exchanged glances, and I felt a wave of tension wash over me. I was still stuck in the closet, desperately hoping I wouldn't be discovered. As Sarah walked in, she immediately sensed something was off. "What's going on in here?" she asked, her eyes narrowing. I could see my uncle sweating, trying to play it cool. "Just a little project I'm working on," he said, a nervous smile plastered on his face. The woman quickly joined in. "Yeah, we were just brainstorming some ideas," she chimed in, trying to sound casual. But Sarah didn't buy it. She crossed her arms, her expression skeptical. "Really? It sounds more like you two are having too much fun." Suddenly, my phone buzzed in my pocket, and I froze. Did I just blow my cover? I slowly pulled it out, hoping it wouldn't make any noise. Thankfully, it was just a text message from a friend. I took a deep breath, relieved, but the tension in the room was palpable. "Tom, you know I don't like it when you keep secrets from me," Sarah said, her voice firm. "If you're hiding something, you need to come clean." My uncle looked at the woman, panic in his eyes, as if trying to gauge her reaction. She quickly replied, "No secrets here. Just a little harmless fun." But I could see the fear in her eyes, and I wondered how long they could keep this charade going. "All right then," Sarah said, her tone softening slightly. "But I'd better not catch you lying again." She turned to leave, and I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. This was getting out of control. Once the door closed, my uncle and the woman exchanged a look of relief, but it quickly turned into a discussion about what just happened. "We need to be more careful," the woman said, her voice shaky. "I don't want to get caught." My uncle waved his hand dismissively. "It's fine. I'm the king of my castle. No one can tell me what to do." His confidence was back, but I could see the uncertainty behind his bravado. Meanwhile, I was trapped in the closet, caught between disbelief and curiosity. How far would they take this? Should I expose them, or let them continue living this bizarre fantasy? I needed to make a decision, but it was hard to think clearly in such an overwhelming situation. Just then, the woman turned toward the closet and caught a glimpse of my shoes. "Wait, someone's in there," she exclaimed, pointing at the closet. My heart sank as all eyes turned to me. "Who's there?" my uncle yelled, his voice filled with surprise. I froze, debating whether to come out or stay hidden. But before I could decide, the woman pushed the door open, and there I was, standing in the shadows. Hi?" I managed to stammer, feeling completely caught off guard. My uncle's jaw dropped, and the woman looked mortified. "What were you doing in there?" my uncle demanded, clearly taken aback. I felt a rush of adrenaline and decided to play it cool. "I was just, trying to find my way around the house," I said, forcing a laugh. "You know, getting some exercise." The woman raised an eyebrow, clearly not buying my excuse. "You expect us to believe that?" she shot back, crossing her arms. I could see my uncle's frustration rising, but I couldn't let this moment slip away. "I wasn't spying on you," I insisted, my voice steady. "I just got curious, that's all." I could see the tension in the room shifting as they both processed my words. "Curious about what exactly?" my uncle asked, his expression hardening. I could feel the weight of the situation bearing down on me, and I knew I had to be careful with my next words. "About life, I guess," I replied, my tone casual. "You seem to be living it to the fullest." I flashed a grin, hoping to lighten the mood, but their faces remained serious. The woman looked between us, her mind clearly racing. "What if we make a deal?" she proposed, a hint of mischief in her eyes. "You keep our secret and we let you in on the fun." My uncle glanced at her, surprised but intrigued. "What kind of fun?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Were they really considering this? "Let's just say, life is more exciting when you step outside the lines," she said, a smile creeping across her face. "We could show you a side of life you've never seen before." I was taken aback. This was getting ridiculous. "You're serious?" I asked, my heart racing. "You want me to join in on this?" "Why not?" my uncle said, his excitement bubbling over. "You're old enough to make your own choices. Besides, we could use a fresh perspective." The thrill of the moment pulled me in. I felt the weight of my own choices hanging in the air. Should I go along with this wild ride? The thought of saying yes sent a shiver down my spine, and I was torn between caution and curiosity. "I don't know," I stammered, unsure of how to respond. The room was thick with tension, and I could see their eyes sparkling with mischief. They were both waiting for my answer, and the moment hung in the air. "Think about it," the woman said, stepping closer. "Life is too short to play it safe. You could have adventures you never dreamed of." In that moment, I felt a rush of excitement wash over me. Maybe this was my chance to break free from the mundane. Maybe I could discover a side of myself I didn't know existed. My heart raced as I weighed my options, knowing I was standing on the edge of a decision that could change everything. "All right," I said finally, my voice steady. "I'm in. Let's see where this goes." As I joined their secret world, I felt a surge of adrenaline. Who knew what twists and turns lay ahead? Life had just become a thrilling adventure, and I couldn't wait to dive in. Over the next few days, I couldn't shake off the feeling of excitement. My mind replayed that fateful encounter, and I was curious about what my uncle and his mysterious companion had in store for me. I felt like I was teetering on the edge of a thrilling adventure, and part of me was eager to leap into the unknown. When I arrived at my uncle's house again, I was met with a more relaxed atmosphere. The woman was there too, lounging on the couch, and she greeted me with a smile that suggested we were in for something special. "Hey, you made it," she said, her eyes twinkling. "We've got something planned for today, and it's going to be epic." "What do you have in mind?" I asked, my heart racing with anticipation. I had no idea what to expect, but the thrill of the unknown sent a rush of adrenaline through me. "Let's just say we're going to explore the city like never before," my uncle chimed in, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "Are you ready for an adventure?" I nodded, trying to suppress my excitement. The three of us hopped into my uncle's car, and as we drove through the city, the atmosphere was electric. We laughed and joked, and for the first time in a long while, I felt alive. As we arrived at a trendy spot known for its nightlife, I could sense the buzz of excitement in the air. We walked into the venue, and the music pulsed through my veins. People danced, laughed, and enjoyed themselves, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of freedom washing over me. "Let's grab a drink," my uncle suggested, leading us to the bar. We ordered our drinks and settled into a cozy booth, the vibrant atmosphere around us igniting my senses. "I have to admit, this is a lot of fun," I said, feeling the adrenaline surging through me. "I never knew you were into this kind of thing, Uncle Tom." He chuckled. "There's a lot you don't know about me. Life is too short to play it safe. You'll learn that soon enough." As the night went on, we found ourselves dancing, mingling with strangers, and soaking up the thrill of the moment. The woman, whose name I learned was Lily, had a magnetic energy that drew people in. I felt a connection with her, and every glance we exchanged felt charged with possibility. As the night wore on, we found ourselves outside, enjoying the cool night air. The city lights sparkled around us, and I felt like anything was possible. Just then, Lily leaned closer and whispered, "You know, there's a secret club nearby that we can check out. It's exclusive, but I think we can get in." Over the next few days, I couldn't shake off the feeling of excitement. My mind replayed that fateful encounter, and I was curious about what my uncle and his mysterious companion had in store for me. I felt like I was teetering on the edge of a thrilling adventure, and part of me was eager to leap into the unknown. When I arrived at my uncle's house again, I was met with a more relaxed atmosphere. The woman was there too, lounging on the couch, and she greeted me with a smile that suggested we were in for something special. "Hey, you made it," she said, her eyes twinkling. "We've got something planned for today, and it's going to be epic." "What do you have in mind?" I asked, my heart racing with anticipation. I had no idea what to expect, but the thrill of the unknown sent a rush of adrenaline through me. "Let's just say, we're going to explore the city like never before," my uncle chimed in, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "Are you ready for an adventure?" I nodded, trying to suppress my excitement. The three of us hopped into my uncle's car, and as we drove through the city, the atmosphere was electric. We laughed and joked, and for the first time in a long while, I felt alive. As we arrived at a trendy spot known for its nightlife, I could sense the buzz of excitement in the air. We walked into the venue, and the music pulsed through my veins. People danced, laughed, and enjoyed themselves, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of freedom washing over me. "Let's grab a drink," my uncle suggested, leading us to the bar. We ordered our drinks and settled into a cozy booth, the vibrant atmosphere around us igniting my senses. "I have to admit, this is a lot of fun," I said, feeling the adrenaline surging through me. "I never knew you were into this kind of thing, Uncle Tom." He chuckled. "There's a lot you don't know about me. Life is too short to play it safe. You'll learn that soon enough." As the night went on, we found ourselves dancing, mingling with strangers, and soaking up the thrill of the moment. The woman, whose name I learned was Lily, had a magnetic energy that drew people in. I felt a connection with her, and every glance we exchanged felt charged with possibility. As the night wore on, we found ourselves outside, enjoying the cool night air. The city lights sparkled around us, and I felt like anything was possible. Just then, Lily leaned closer and whispered, "You know, there's a secret club nearby that we can check out. It's exclusive, but I think we can get in." "Are you serious?" I asked, my heart racing. "What's the catch?" "No catch," she replied, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Just an adventure. What do you say?" "Let's do it," I replied, feeling a rush of excitement. This was exactly what I wanted, an escape from the ordinary and a chance to embrace the unknown. As we approached the hidden entrance of the club, I felt a mix of nervousness and thrill. The bouncer looked us up and down, and I held my breath as he scrutinized us. "You guys on the list?" he asked, his voice deep and authoritative. Lily stepped forward, her confidence radiating. "Of course! We're friends of Jake." The bouncer raised an eyebrow, but eventually nodded, stepping aside to let us in. The moment we entered, I was blown away. The atmosphere was electric, dimly lit, with pulsating lights and energetic music filling the air. It was like stepping into another world, one where anything was possible. As we danced and explored, I lost track of time, The thrill of the night enveloped me, and I felt more alive than ever. But just as I was starting to forget my worries, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Sarah, my uncle's wife. Panic surged through me as I ducked behind a wall, heart racing. "What do we do?" I whispered to Lily and my uncle, who had also spotted her. "Stay calm," my uncle said, his voice steady. "Let's just play it cool." But Sarah was scanning the room, and I could see the suspicion in her eyes. "Tom," she called out, her voice cutting through the music. "Where are you?" I felt my stomach drop. We had to think fast. "What if we pretend we're just random partygoers?" Lily suggested, a playful glint in her eyes. "Great idea," I said, feeling a rush of adrenaline. "Let's blend in." As Sarah moved closer, we joined a group of dancers, trying to act natural. The music thumped in my ears, and my heart raced. We danced as if we belonged, laughter bubbling up as we tried to keep our composure. But just when I thought we might get away with it, Sarah spotted us. "Tom, what are you doing here?" she yelled, her voice laced with frustration. I held my breath, expecting the worst. But instead of anger, I saw something else in her eyes, curiosity. She looked at Lily and me, and I could tell she was processing the situation. "Just having a little fun," my uncle replied, trying to sound casual. "You should join us." To my surprise, Sarah hesitated, her eyes flicking between us. "Maybe I will," she said slowly, a smirk appearing on her lips. "What's the point of being the boring wife when there's so much excitement to be had?" Lily and I exchanged shocked glances, unsure if we had just crossed a line or opened a door to something thrilling. Before we could react, Sarah took off her coat and joined us on the dance floor, her inhibitions melting away. I couldn't believe what was happening. The three of us danced together, laughter mixing with the music. It felt surreal, like a scene straight out of a movie. We were caught in a whirlwind of excitement, and for that moment, everything else faded away. As the night progressed, we found ourselves in a cozy corner of the club, sipping drinks and sharing stories. Sarah laughed, and I could see the tension from earlier dissipating. "You know, I never thought I'd find myself here dancing with you two," she said, her eyes sparkling. "Life is full of surprises," my uncle replied, a playful grin on his face. "You just have to embrace them." Just then, a group of friends approached us and one of them shouted, "Let's play a game." I felt a jolt of excitement as they explained the rules. It was a daring challenge. Each person had to take turns sharing their wildest secret or performing a silly dance move. When it was my turn, I hesitated, but the thrill of the moment pushed me forward. I once crashed a wedding and pretended to be the groom's long-lost brother. The group erupted in laughter, and I felt a surge of confidence. Next, it was Lily's turn. I once dyed my hair bright pink and went to a corporate meeting. The laughter continued, and Sarah's eyes sparkled with amusement. When it was Sarah's turn, she leaned in with a mischievous smile. I once dressed up as a superhero for a charity event and forgot my cape at home. The entire group roared with laughter, and I felt a sense of camaraderie building among us. The night was filled with laughter, dance, and secrets shared under the pulsating lights. I felt like I had found a new side of myself, one that thrived on adventure and spontaneity. As the clock ticked on, I knew this night would be one I'd never forget. But deep down, I wondered how long we could keep this secret, especially with Sarah now in the mix. Would she become a part of our adventures, or would the reality of our lives catch up to us? The following weeks were a whirlwind of excitement. My uncle, Lily, and I continued to explore the city, attending underground parties and secret events. With each adventure, we shared laughs and created memories that felt almost surreal. But soon, reality began to seep in. I noticed the strain on my uncle's relationship with Sarah. While she had embraced the thrill of our escapades, it felt like she was becoming increasingly restless. The secret we shared was both exhilarating and burdensome. One evening, as we sat in my uncle's living room, I felt the tension in the air. Sarah had just returned from a dinner with friends and didn't seem pleased. "Tom, we need to talk," she said, her tone serious. My heart raced. Had she discovered our hidden escapades? Would she confront us? "Sure, what's up?" my uncle replied, trying to sound casual. "I know you've been going out a lot lately," Sarah said, crossing her arms. "It feels like you're hiding something from me." My uncle shifted in his seat, clearly uncomfortable. I'm just trying to have some fun, babe. You always say I need to lighten up. That's not the point, Sarah shot back, her voice rising. You need to be honest with me. Are you cheating on me? I held my breath, caught between disbelief and concern. Would she actually say it? The silence in the room was thick with tension, and I could feel the weight of the moment bearing down on us. Of course not, my uncle replied, his voice steady. I love you, Sarah. It's just been nice to unwind a little. But at what cost? She pressed, her expression serious. I can't shake the feeling that you're keeping secrets from me. Maybe we should all talk, Lily interjected, trying to diffuse the tension. It's important to communicate. As the conversation unfolded, I realized we needed to come clean. Secrets had a way of festering, and it was only a matter of time before everything unraveled. Taking a deep breath, I decided to speak up. Sarah, I think it's time we all be honest with each other. We've been going out together, and I understand if it seems like we're hiding something. Her gaze turned toward me, surprise evident in her eyes. What do you mean? We've been exploring the city and trying to have fun, but I didn't mean to put a strain on your relationship, I explained, my heart racing. I just wanted to break free from the routine. Sarah's expression softened as she processed my words. I appreciate your honesty, but it's hard for me to know where I stand. If you're having fun, that's great, but I need to be a part of that fun too. As the conversation continued, it became clear that our escapades had brought us closer, but they also highlighted the cracks in my uncle and Sarah's relationship. I could see the longing in her eyes, the desire for something more, and it made me realize how important it was for them to reconnect. After our heart-to-heart, I suggested we plan a weekend getaway together, just the three of us. Let's escape the city for a bit and enjoy some time away from everything, I said, hoping to bridge the gap that had formed. To my surprise, Sarah smiled. I think that's a great idea. A fresh start might be just what we need. As we began to plan our getaway, I felt a sense of hope. Perhaps this could be the turning point for my uncle and Sarah, a chance to rekindle their connection amidst the chaos of life. The day of our getaway arrived, and we set off on an adventure filled with laughter and camaraderie. The tension from before began to melt away as we explored new places, shared stories, and enjoyed each other's company. As we sat around a campfire one night, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories, I felt a renewed sense of closeness among us. It was as if we were rediscovering ourselves, peeling away the layers that had built up over time. Lily, ever the free spirit, brought out her guitar and began to play a soft tune. The music filled the air, creating a cozy atmosphere. Sarah leaned against my uncle, a content smile on her face, and I realized that perhaps our little adventure had rekindled something beautiful between them. But deep down, I knew that the thrill of our secret adventures still lingered. The tension might have eased, but the desire for excitement was still there, a flame that refused to be extinguished. As we settled into the rhythm of our getaway, I couldn't shake the feeling that this wouldn't be the end of our adventures. The allure of the unknown would always beckon, calling us to explore, to embrace the chaos and spontaneity of life. After our getaway, life returned to a semblance of normalcy. My uncle and Sarah had rekindled their relationship, but I could sense a new energy in the air, a balance between adventure and stability. I continued to spend time with Lily, and our connection grew stronger. She had a way of igniting a sense of wonder in me, pushing me to embrace the unknown. We explored the city together, discovering hidden gems and enjoying spontaneous outings. One afternoon, as we wandered through a local market, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. The colorful stalls, the aroma of street food, and the laughter of people around us created a vibrant atmosphere that felt alive. Isn't this amazing? Lily said, her eyes sparkling as she picked up a handmade bracelet. It's like every corner holds a new adventure waiting to unfold. I couldn't help but smile. You're right, it's all about seizing the moment, isn't it? As we strolled through the market, we chatted about our dreams, aspirations, and what we wanted from life. It felt liberating to open up to someone who understood the thrill of embracing the unknown. I want to travel more, Lily confessed, her voice filled with enthusiasm. There's so much of the world to see, and I want to experience it all. Her passion was contagious, and I found myself daydreaming about distant places, cultures, and adventures waiting to be had. Maybe we should plan a trip together, I suggested, excitement bubbling inside me. Absolutely. Let's make it happen, Lily replied, her eyes bright with anticipation. That moment marked a turning point for me. I realized that while adventures were thrilling, it was the connections we formed and the experiences we shared that made life truly meaningful. As the weeks turned into months, Lily and I explored new cities together, diving into the unknown with wide-eyed wonder. We laughed, took countless photos, and created memories that felt like a beautiful tapestry woven from threads of spontaneity and joy. Meanwhile, my uncle and Sarah continued to grow closer, finding a balance between their responsibilities and their desire for adventure. They often joined us on our outings, adding their own unique flair to our escapades. One evening, as we gathered at my uncle's house for dinner, I could see the lightness in their interactions. They shared jokes, reminisced about old memories, and I felt a warmth in the air that spoke of love and companionship. "Thank you for bringing us together," Sarah said, her voice filled with sincerity as she looked at me. "You've helped us rediscover what it means to enjoy life." I shrugged, feeling a mix of humility and gratitude. It's all about embracing the unknown and sharing those moments with the people you care about. As the night unfolded, I realized that my journey had come full circle. What began as a quest for adventure had led me to something deeper, a sense of connection, love, and understanding. Reflecting on my experiences, I felt grateful for the lessons learned along the way. Embracing spontaneity and seeking new experiences had opened my eyes to the beauty of life's unpredictability. And as I glanced at Lily, sharing laughter with my uncle and Sarah, I knew that our adventures were far from over. The thrill of the unknown still awaited us, beckoning us to continue exploring, dreaming, and living life to the fullest.